Have you ever felt it? That quiet unease in your heart? A friend shares advice that sounds good on the surface, but deep down a little bell rings, a warning. This is the gentle knock of truth. It's a whisper from God, trying to get our attention. Deception often doesn't arrive like a thunderstorm. It tiptoes in, disguised as wisdom or progress. It sounds so close to the real thing, and that is why it can be so hard to address. We don't want to hurt feelings. We don't want to cause a stir. But silence can be a dangerous comfort. Addressing what feels wrong is one of the hardest things we are called to do. It feels like standing against a strong wind. You risk being misunderstood. You risk being labeled as judgmental or unkind. The world tells us to go with the flow, but our faith calls us to a higher standard. It's about being a loving shepherd, gently guiding a lost sheep back to the safety of the path. It requires a heart overflowing with grace. The little book of Jude is a powerful letter. It's like a concentrated dose of spiritual wisdom. Jude, a servant of Jesus Christ, writes to those who are called, sanctified, preserved. He wanted to write about our shared salvation, a joyful letter. But he couldn't. He felt an urgent need to write about something else. He urges his friends to contend earnestly for the faith. Contend can sound strong, like a fight. In a way it is. It's a call to stand firm for foundational truths, the bedrock on which we build our lives, to protect the precious gift entrusted to us. But Jude's message isn't one-sided. He doesn't just call for a fight. In the same breath, he speaks of mercy, peace, love, being multiplied. This is the beautiful balance, the heart of God. Be strong in truth, but gentle in spirit. Our contention is not against people, but against deceptive ideas that ensnare them. Jude paints a shepherd protecting his flock from wolves in sheep's clothing. The shepherd is fierce toward the wolf, but his heart is always for the sheep, not from being right, but from being rooted in his incredible, unending love. This is where our strength comes from. Deception is a master of disguise. It rarely announces itself with a flashing neon sign. Instead, it looks appealing. It sounds reasonable. It mixes a lot of truth with just a little bit of error. Think of a glass of pure, clean water. Now, add just one tiny drop of poison. The water still looks the same. It is still mostly water, but it is no longer safe. Deception works in the same way. It takes the beautiful truths of God, His grace, His freedom, His love, and twists them just enough to lead us down a different path. It promises freedom, but leads to bondage. It promises life, but leads to emptiness. Jude describes those who spread deception as clouds without water carried along by winds. You see a dark cloud in the distance. You are a thirsty farmer. Your fields are dry. You look to that cloud with hope, expecting life-giving rain. But the cloud just passes over, offering nothing. Deceptive teachings promise spiritual nourishment but leave our souls just as thirsty as before. This isn't pride, it is protection. It is love. The truths of our faith are the concrete that keep our spiritual house standing through any storm. Why is it so important to notice deception? Because ideas have consequences. So, you see it. The drop of poison in the water, the empty cloud promising rain. What do? How do you speak up without tearing someone down? Jude gives us a beautiful roadmap. He says, have mercy on those who doubt. He says, save others by snatching them out of the fire. He says to others, show mercy with fear. Notice the theme? Mercy. It appears again and again. Our response should be soaked in it. This isn't about winning an argument. It's about winning a brother or a sister back to the safety of the fold. It's a rescue mission. Every rescue mission must be undertaken with the utmost care for the one being rescued. Think of Jesus with Thomas. Thomas was full of doubt. He declared he would not believe unless he could see and touch Jesus' wounds. How did Jesus respond? Not with a lecture. He met Thomas in his doubt. He invited him to touch. He showed mercy. We are called to do the same. We listen to their questions. We acknowledge their struggle. We walk with them, not ahead of them. In all things, our motive must be pure, a deep desire for their restoration, guided by God's love. In the end, it all comes back to this beautiful, delicate dance between truth and love. One without the other is incomplete. Truth without love becomes a weapon, harsh, cold, condemning. It puffs us up with pride, but does nothing to build others up. The noisy gong Paul warned about. Love without truth becomes weak and enabling. Sentimentality afraid to say what must be said. Prioritizing temporary peace over eternal well-being. Watching a friend walk toward a cliff and saying nothing. This is not real love. Real love is strong, protective, willing to be uncomfortable, willing to speak hard truth. The love of a surgeon who must make a cut to heal. A painful act with a pure motive, restoration and life. Do not be afraid of courageous love. Jude begins and ends with hope. He reminds us we are called, loved, kept. He closes with this blessing. Now to him who is able to keep you from stumbling and to present you blameless before the presence of his glory with great joy. This is our anchor. We cannot balance this on our own. We will get it wrong sometimes, too harsh or too timid. But God is able to keep us. He holds us fast, one merciful conversation at a time.